Hi everyone, this is my market analysis for the week commencing the 18th of September 2023. I am going to start with the euro dollar. And again, when we're analyzing the markets, we obviously over a weekend we look at the dailies and the weeklies, and especially the weekly charts to give us a general opinion and certainly a general guidance, probably is the better word, in relation to what the overall weekly direction should be. So, with that, let me just flick over to a weekly chart. And what I will do is I will just remove one or two of these um, little lines that I have in the shorter time frame chart. 1 second, we will delete that. So what we've got here is a very bearish weekly bar. Now, the reason I say it's a bearish weekly bar is because the close here is closer to the low than it is to the high. And taking that into consideration, it means that we've got a greater probability for the week coming in that low should be taken out to the downside before that high. That's basically what it's telling us. So therefore, how we can position ourselves in a market under that guidance and with analysing that probability, then if there is a bounce without that low being taken, in other words, if the market opens strongly on the Sunday night or starts trading strongly on the Monday morning and it doesn't take those lows out, well, then we know that we've got objectives, and our objectives based on the weekly time frame chart would be to break that low to the downside. Now, that low is a low at 106.31. So therefore, any price action movement at close at 106.61. Therefore, we're looking for that low to be broken. Also, what I can see here in the weekly chart is that we've got key support just exactly where the market touched on Friday. And that was a previous low, but not only was it a previous low, it was a significant low because it's what we call a vertical bar trading pattern low, a confirmed price action trading pattern low. And that is based on our rule set, our price action rule set. And that low was a low of 106.352, and we went to a low of 319. Not understanding, folk, it means that yes, we have achieved, and we've broken our previous higher low. So therefore, any retracement within this range from those highs up there at 112.50 or 60 or higher, what was that high up there at 112.75 rather, to those lows at 106.31, then that means that if we get any retracement within that, our objectives are to come down and break through this here. So therefore, we're looking to test the buying pressures now. When any buying pressure comes into this market now in the short term, we are looking to test those, and we are going to see whether there's greater, if there's selling pressure that has been indicated by just breaking those lows there, whether that is now going to be stronger than the buying pressure. That means then naturally it's going to be make a lower high than the previous high up here at 112.75. So if we flick over just the daily chart in this, you can see what we've done. We have on Friday, this is Friday's bar. The low on Friday was a low of 106.329, and the low on Thursday was a low of 106.319. So it went within 1 pip of Thursday's low. Therefore, technically speaking, it's a higher low, but the most important aspect when you look at the larger time frames in relation to this, when we're analysing this, is that it is actually inside, it is trading inside this very bearish daily bar. So we've got a bearish daily bar and we've got a bearish weekly bar. So that is indicating that overall for this week coming in, trying to position myself, I would trying to position myself into a trade that hopefully I could perhaps stick with. If there was any bounce in this market, I would be looking to sell it. Now, if the market shows initial weakness then and starts retracing and starts to show buying pressure, then we can assess that again, and then perhaps it's going to be long trades. But initially, folk, we've got objectives. Those objectives are to take 106.319 out to the downside, euro dollar. Now, the pound dollar, if we flick onto this is the pound dollar. We again here, I've got a very bearish bar on the pound dollar where it is closed On Friday, that's the daily charts here, it's closed at 123.83. And again, it's closed right on the bottom of that range. Now, it doesn't take very much price action movement to confirm that, um, to confirm the objectives of the daily bar chart. And I say that because we've closed practically on the lows. We've also got a very bearish weekly bar that is closed on its lows. We know that down here, this bar here, where it made a low of 123.08, that is the last confirmed higher price action low on a weekly chart. Okay, this is this low here, this low here. So if I just draw a horizontal line in there to let you know everything, that is a major support line at 123.08. If we break that, just as the euro dollar has only by 1 pip, or no, by 2 or 3 pips, sorry, then that is indicating that this recent bullish move up is maybe being halted, it's maybe coming to a stop, folk. Okay, and then again it goes back to testing on the bigger time frame charts the buying pressure. But generally, again, I would be looking to probably sell the pound dollar, otherwise known as cable. But I do believe that there's going to take very little price action movement to achieve these bearish bar objectives, both on the weekly and on the daily chart. As I've already said, 123.07, 123.08, that's the key figure. Now, if that holds support and buying pressure comes in off that, then we could have a good intraday or an intraweek buying setup that appears. And of course, how does that appear? It appears by higher intraday price action trading pattern lows, or higher highs, higher lows. Yes, that's correct. In other words, this is a higher low than any low down here. That's a higher low than this low. And again, if we get another higher low, but it's looking weak as I speak. The next market I'm going to look at is the pound Japanese yen. This is the market that I'm trading on my Discord channel. So it is. It is the one of the forex. It is the forex pair that I'm very closely monitoring, and it has been hard work this last couple of weeks. We're only up, I think, 30 odd pips, if I'm truthful, which I always am. Let me add to that. I think 33 pips is all I'm up in the first 2 weeks trading the pound yen. Whereas the month of August was a 400 pip month. So we've a little bit of ground to make up, but hopefully we will. Now, again, going back to looking at the weekly chart here, we've got a bearish weekly bar. You can see that we've broken through these previous highs. That would have at one stage been resistance. That became support, and we've broken through that, and we've even closed below that. And then if we go to the daily chart, you can see what's happened on the daily chart. We had a very bearish bar on Thursday. And with that being a bearish bar, because the close is closer to the low than the high, the indications are based on probabilities that that low at 182.51.4 should be broken to the downside before that high. Now, it done its utmost best on Friday because it started to bounce late on Thursday afternoon into evening UK time. And what happened was it went up to a high on Friday here of 183.91. And indeed, it started to come off and it closed at 183.07. I had one intraday sell signal that will cost some pips, I think 26 or 27 pips perhaps. And I entered another trade towards the end of the day, of which we've just closed out with a 5 pip win. Now, that does not negate the fact that this market looks and very much feels like there's a little bit more downside in it. Overall, I still think it's going to go higher, but I think there's a real fight going on. We've got both the weekly and the daily charts. The weekly is here showing bearishness, and we've got the daily trading inside a bearish daily bar from which that 182.51 should be broken to the outside. So we'll close at 183.07. So I can see further weakness. Again, if you take a look at the 4-hour chart, we've just on the last 4-hour bar here closed with a confirmed price action low and also red bars. This is my proprietary software trading tool that paints the price bars depending on whether there's strength, if it's blue, green, neutrality, and red if there's weakness. So it's just painted them. The bars have been recently painted red, but most importantly, our price action pattern, our rule set, has just confirmed that there to be a high, and that there is a lower high than the previous high up here. So all of that is stacking up that we should go down and at least test, but technically speaking, break 182.51. So therefore, that is what I will be trying to do on an intraday basis. Again, we have got the red price bars in the 1 hour chart. We've got red price bars in the 30-minute chart. We've got a lower price action trading pattern low on the 15-minute chart. So all in all, everybody, the pound dollar looks very much like a sell signal. Again, if the market happens to bounce at the beginning of the trading week inside this range, as long as it doesn't take that high out of 184.08 to the upside, went to 183.91 on Friday, tried really hard when it looked really bullish, and it failed. So providing it doesn't take 184.08 out to the upside, I am very much looking for this market to go lower. Now, markets and sometimes analysing markets can make a fool out of you folk, but all the time we have to trade what we see. That's exactly what I see when we analyse this over this weekend. And then we will have to then watch how this particular market develops, or any market develops, when the new trading week starts. So the pound yen, a sell from me, and again the pound dollar, a sell, but perhaps maybe a lesser of a sell initially, folk, because it has very little to do to achieve its price action objectives. And again, the euro dollar also looks like it's going to retrace. Now, just one other market I want to look at as far as the foreign exchange market, and that is the dollar yen. And you can see it's the complete opposite here, folk, because it is actually a bullish market. You can see here where it did retrace, and it's now showing great strength. So I know the dollar is showing strength, folk, across the board. Again, all the major, all its compatriots, its major foreign exchange pairs. But that can be seen here. So we're up now at previous highs, and if we go to the weekly chart, you can see also here a very bullish weekly bar. In fact, it's practically an outside bullish weekly bar to the upside. The high was 147.874. 147.874, and this here was a high of 147.952. So an outside weekly vertical bar to the upside. So all that there is indicating, folk, and that's our last confirmed low, which was a higher low than this low down here, that this market should probably head on up here to test this 151.94, to say the least. Okay, so I can see more strength in the dollar yen. Now, I always do like the dollar yen and the pound yen maybe being in sync with each other, because that's indicating yen weakness. Okay, Japanese yen weakness overall. But now we've got a scenario where the pound yen looks weak and the dollar yen looks strong. So you're getting the yen strong against the sterling, but weak against the dollar. So let's just see how it develops. And just as long as we keep our stops in each trade that we do tight, as small as possible, then when the big moves come, folk, we are going to be well positioned to get them. Very quickly, I will look at the indices. And again, we've got strength on the FTSE. So we've got contradiction. We've got weekly bar strength on the FTSE. We've got a daily bar, bearish daily bar after breaking through these previous highs. The markets went to, I said, test 7,700, and indeed it went above it. It went to 77.57, closed at 77.07. But you can see it's a very bearish daily bar. It's going to be interesting. I think we're possibly going to have initial weakness at the beginning of the trading week, and that is also going to be shown on the S&P 500, I should add, because look what we got on Friday. We've got an outside vertical bar to the downside, real weakness. And then we're trading for now the second week in a row. This week. This was last week, and this was the week before. But this week here was a bullish week, 3 weeks past, and we're trading inside that bullish bar range. So it's not until that low there of 44.06, unless that was broken to the downside, everybody, we are still looking strong, because that is a confirmed higher low than any low down here, and that would be indicating this market should, technically speaking, based on probabilities, go higher. But again, it's not wanting to do it just now. Okay, it's showing certainly a reluctance to do so. Now the Dow, the Dow is actually, it is actually made an outside vertical bar to the downside also. But on the Dow, we've also got a weekly bearish bar. So we have, and on the DAX, we've got a bearish daily bar on the DAX, but we've got a bullish weekly bar. So again, a little bit like last week, we are getting conflicts within the setups of over across the major equity markets. Okay, we've got a bullish weekly bar on the FTSE, bullish weekly bar on the DAX, a bearish weekly bar on the Dow. Trading inside a bullish weekly bar this last 2 weeks on the S&P 500. So, this just actually indicates the where the markets are at this minute in time. There's a lot of uncertainty. As we know, fundamentally, there's a lot of uncertainty, and the markets are reflecting that. They're the traders are fighting institutions, the city traders in London, Wall Street, they're trying to fight to see exactly what stocks they should be putting their money in. And again, those stocks are relative to the particular indice that they're actually listed on. Okay, so there's a fight going on there. Again, my motto is very much trade what you see. Don't be trying to trade the 3 or 4 major indices. Trade one at a time. Trade the one that you see with the signals in front of you. That is all that matters. Very quickly, folks, because I don't want this video to go on now. I want to close it off. We've got the gold market. And you can see that on the daily on Friday, we've got a setup bar here to see, can we confirm that low down there at 1901. And that could be a confirmed higher low than this low here. That could be, we don't know yet. We haven't got confirmation of that. That could mean that this selling pressure here is running out of steam. You see this selling pressure here went from there to there. And all of a sudden, this selling pressure just went from there to there. Just draw that in. There, oh, sorry, from there to there. And you can see now that this selling pressure possibly is going from there to there. Now, I say possibly because this is an indication that that could become what we call a confirmed price action low, but it is not confirmed yet. If it is, then you can see that that move from there to there was much greater than this move from there to there. Therefore, if that did get confirmation, then we would know that the major support here is 1901. We're looking to go long the market, looking at the bigger picture. If we go to the weekly chart, also you can see that we've got a weekly bullish weekly bar. Therefore, that's indicating that it should break the high of last week to the upside before it breaks the low. Now, again, if that were the low, that would be indicating that it's a higher low than this low, but not a confirmed low, folk. We haven't got a confirmed low in the weekly chart. But again, you can see analysing the single vertical bar, which is so important when you go to analyse a market. It doesn't matter whether it be a foreign exchange market, whether it be a commodity market, whether it be a stock, a particular stock index. It's always good to analyse even a one single bar. Yes, we need a little bit more than that, I admit, but by golly gracious, the information that analysing one single bar gives on its own is so very important. So therefore, gold, I'm bullish. Okay, bullish gold, bullish crude oil. But I will say with crude oil, folk, that it is closed really on its very highs. And if we go to the weekly chart on crude oil, I think, is this crude oil? It is indeed. Yes, crude oil. It is it's pretty bullish, folk. So therefore, on that understanding, it's still I'm bullish and have been bullish. That is not crude oil, is it? Um, no, that is not crude oil. Apologize. Or is it? If it is, it's the wrong data. No, it is not. I just will pause that. Secondly, please, 1 minute. Sorry, it didn't change over charts. Crude oil, you can see, I know it, I was looking at it earlier, it closed on its very high, closed on its very highs at 91.17. Very little to do to achieve its price action objectives. On this setup here, very bullish bar, folks. I think there's going to be a retracement in crude oil before this market starts heading further north. So again, it would not surprise me in the least to see a good sell signal appearing on crude oil on Monday. It certainly would not, but I think overall we have to accept that crude oil is going to go quite a bit higher. Okay, crude oil, I think there's just the monthly chart. Crude oil looks to be certainly heading definitely, without question, just up the page. And again, all you have to do is analyze when you go to the rolling cash market. This is the futures market where you're just seeing limited data. But if you roll to the cash market on crude oil and then obviously scroll out, okay, zoom out, and look always to the left of your chart. So again, bullish crude oil, but I think there will be a correction at the beginning in the early part of this week. And it may only be a very short-lived correction, admittedly, but still. Now, again, we've got bullish bars, and the reason I say there's a correction, sometimes when you get, from a price action perspective, a market closing on its very highs or on its very lows, as this market has, both in the daily and the weekly, based on Friday's price action, you will get a retracement. Okay, so all the buyers have went for it here. It mightn't retrace just immediately, but I think there will be a retracement in crude oil before then. You cannot go again the bigger trend. But again, from an intraday perspective, an intra-week perspective, I will be looking at taking probably or seeing how weak, if the market does start coming off, how weak the market gets, how strong are those sellers going to be within the market. Look, folk, I hope you've enjoyed this. So just to conclude, bearish the euro dollar, bearish pound dollar, bearish pound yen initially. Certainly mixed signals on the equity markets because we've got bearishness on the US Dow, S&P, etc. A bit more bullishness in the looking at the bigger picture on the FTSE and indeed on the DAX. So again, that will not negate the fact because all of the charts are showing weakness on the daily perspectives. So therefore, probably initial market weakness, and perhaps strength might come into that market later on in the week. And again, then bullish crude oil, but expect immediate correction of some, or a retracement maybe might be better than a correction before looking to get long and sticking with it. Again, a good time frame is reasonably good if you're using MT4 is a 15-minute chart on light crude oil. And again, I'm looking for gold to give me a confirmation on the weekly chart that we are now going to get or in the daily chart that we're going to get a confirmed higher price action trading pattern low. And if we get that, then that will be indicating that this market has got a probability based just on the pure price action of it going up and taking 1952.91 out to the upside. Okay, thank you all. I hope all of this makes sense. Remember, if you need to email me, it is ian@beawinningtrader.com. Okay, or again, subscribe to my Discord channel, Be a Winning Trader, and you will get the certainly signals as they set up on the pound yen, and also education. You will also get the reasons why a trade has been taken. You'll get further analysis on the likes of the commodity markets and indeed the equity index markets. And overall, you'll get an experience where you're able to not only talk with me, but other members within that. So bear in mind my Discord channel. Okay, on the description within below this video, there is a link for both Discord and again to our website. All the best, everyone. Thank you very much. Bye bye.